Hello everyone, DJ Neeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my absolute favorite specials to play in the game, who got a bit of a rework in the Stukov patch. So what changed in his base kit? Well, a couple of changes to Bone Prison and Raised Skeleton. Bone Prison now has the added functionality of all nearby skeletal warriors will fixate on the target of Bone Prison for their duration. So now your skeletal warriors will actually attack the enemy hero in the prison. So you better hope that they're around when you do that. And Ray Skeleton actually baseline wise didn't get changes, but in the talent tree they did get changes. So Shackler now has an added functionality where basic attacks against heroes that are stunned, rooted, or slowed reduce the cooldown of bone armor by 2 seconds. Now, keep in mind, bone armor is at its best when you can use Shade, where it evades all basic attacks. Yes, it increases the cooldown, but trust me, at times against certain enemies, like an Illidan, or a Butcher, or a Valera, someone like that, it is crucial to your survivability. So while I do like this added functionality, I think people are still going to take Shade for survivability. Though some people still take Backlash for maximum health enemies. But Zool doesn't have that much escapability and is still kind of squishy in that regard. They added some quests here. They added a quest for Scythe to reduce the cooldown, but they changed Jailers. It's a quest now where it still spawns skeletal warriors, and they don't count towards the skeleton maximum. That's still the same. But now the quest is spawn 80 skeletal warriors. While fixating on enemy skeletal warriors will gain 50% movement and attack speed. So that's pretty nice to be able to get that. At level 7, they've added a build for Curse Strikes, but they've also added a build for skeletal warriors. It used to be you could take a talent at 4 where when you spawn skeletal warriors, it restores your mana. And at 7, you take one that restores your health. Well, they decided to combine those and make it a little different. Every time a skeletal warrior attacks an enemy, restore 1% of Zul's maximum health and 0.4% of his maximum mana. I'm not really sure how helpful this is going to be for him to keep his mana and health alive in lanes, because that used to be huge for him. He could just take out enemy minions during a fight or something, and all of a sudden, boom, he'd have a bunch more health and mana back. There is a Curse Strikes build that's viable, but if you're using him for laning, you're probably going to get more out of that. Executioner here is now at level 13, if you want to be able to use that. This now increases your attack speed. That sounds awesome. Now, this is an interesting one. Echoes of Death. Spectral Scythe spawns 2 additional scythes next to the first after 1.5 seconds. So, there's going to be that one Spectral Scythe in the middle, and there's going to be one on each side that will spawn and come back to you. So, that gives you 2 extra scythes for lane clearing. Which, if that's what you're going to be doing most of the time, which as Zool usually will be, that's kind of the whole idea. At level 16, they put Bone Spear at level 16 here now. Corpse Explosion is still here. And then Amplified Damage, which, if you're going for Jailers, and you're going to try and get the most out of this, Amplified Damage might be a good way to go. Plus, it also helps out in team fights. And then at level 20, this is where things get kind of fun. They've changed both Andariel's Visage and Cold Hand of Death to buff the skeletal warriors you spawn. So if you take the Poison Nova and get to level 20, the skeletal warriors will then become like poisoned skeletal warriors, and they'll deal 50% increased damage. Oh, and also now Poison Nova will heal Zool for 50% of the damage that's dealt. Cold Hand of Death increases the slow of Frost Mage by 20%, and skeletal warriors will slow enemies by 30% for 2 seconds. It'll make them become Frost Skeletal Warriors, which is pretty cool that either one you get buffed skeletal warriors. And then there's Kalen's Edict. Skeletal Warrior attacks reduce the cooldown of Zul's heroic ability by 1%. So you can be able to use your heroic more often if you are doing that. So any of these I do like. Let's take a look at the new Zool in action.
It is time.
Oh, and he did get some new skins and such because, of course, the Necromancer is now out for Diablo 3, so they want to celebrate with some more skins for him. This is not necessarily one of his better maps because Zul is best on... I think his best map is Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's a 3-lane map. It's very small. It lets him be able to go back and forth and just keep soaking and get the most XP and get his team very high up in XP. He's still a really strong lane pusher, but he's at his best when he's able to soak in multiple lanes to get XP. So, the teams today... Zul, Stukov, Li Ming, Rexar, and Asmodan versus Tassadar, Dehaka, Jaina, Varian, and Medivh. Not that much in basic attacks other than Varian and Dehaka. Let's try the new Shackler. Let's do it. I don't think this is what I'm going to be taking a lot of the time, but it's the new change, so let's go ahead and try it out.
The familiar scent of death.
Ah, yes, the familiar scent of death. Stukov.
Exquisitely done.
Now, see, now I have to wait for the minions to come back.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go.
Meet all dead.
Alright, I am so out of mana. Sippy cup.
The mines will open shortly, heroes. Soon the undead will awaken.
Now?
Oh, bunch of my team is here now. Kind of wasted that.
As you say.
There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna go back and get mana.
I'm returning to town.
I can see early game because I don't have the level 4 talent anymore. I'm gonna be very mana hungry. Alright, that's pushing. I better go down here and clean this up. My AI teammates will be fine. They'll be fine. Yeah, there you go. Nice dunk, Asmodan. Plus, I need to stay in lane if I want to build up this quest. Come on, get him. Yeah! Kassar really should have used his, invulnerable there. See? We got the better golem. We're good.
Choose a talent.
The smart place to get this camp so that it pushes with our golem here.
Your golem
I
is
gotta go,
stronger
sippy cup.
than your enemies.
Having the merc camps push alongside your golem is a huge play and advantage for your team. Of course, the good thing is that those skeletal warriors only need to attack enemies, not enemy heroes, but just enemies in general. Oh, hi, Varian! Alright, I'm gonna get out. Alright. I always go for skeletal mages to provide some extra slows and survivability. Sometimes Poison Nova puts you in too dangerous of a spot. Sometimes skeletal mages can be a good way to help turn a fight around, but also as a good way to get out of trouble and escape. I need this fountain here. Give it. Go. Get some skeleton warriors there to help push that back. I like that he's kind of joking about what it's like when you take the portal back to town in Diablo. Well, we have bottom lane completely done. Now we can just focus on top lane.
Listen, heroes. The undead shall rise within the mines shortly.
Unto darkness.
Hi, Medivh. Gotcha.
Balance will be preserved.
I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna get some more skeletal warriors here. There we go. Finish the quest. Of course, with all these slows on top of getting skeletal mages, getting executioner in situations like that would be fantastic. You know, considering all the slows that you have. Ah, he got away, and I'm gonna die. Ah, I was so certain I could finish him off there. Normally, I would not go that far, but look at our Stukov soloing the golem. Feel like that's a misplay on your part, AI Stukov.
So be it.
Alright, So they are going to be finishing this off. Or not. Looks like my team's getting killed. Stupid AI teammates. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to get this. Because we have a golem spawning right here. And like I said, getting these guys to push is huge. Alright, now let me show you what this is like. Echoes of Death. You see this 3? 1 there. And then 2 more there. My gosh, look at how much health I lost.
Celebration is in order.
Huh. They didn't finish it off? Huh. Weird. I guess they had to go back and defend or something. Well, we do have catapults approaching their core, so...
My golems, and unleash your boundless anger.
Capture this message.
Alright, let me tell my teammates to go get that siege camp there. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I may die here. Nope, never mind. I lived. Get her, my minions! Get her, yeah! I just love the idea of those 2 extra sides there. Oh, and he's gonna be rooted. Yeah. And it's stuff like that that you can see why I love playing Specialists and why I love playing Zool. He has as strong of a lane push as anyone in the game. And he can be able to get XP for his team as well as anyone. A lot of people didn't really think he was that good anymore. I'm hoping this rework will show them that he can still be a viable choice. I still really like Zool, and I like this rework. I like some of these changes. Where it seems like there are some other talents I could have chosen, like Executioner, you know, things like that, that could have given me, you know, more usefulness in fights, but this was not really one of those situations. So, I really like the changes to Zool here. And I hope that this is going to make him a very viable choice. I still consider him a top choice to take on Tomb of the Spider Queen, regardless of what people say about tiers. You know, to me, that's his best map, and he's still a strong choice there. You can get a ton of value out of him still on that map. So that is Zool, and until the next patch that adds a new character to the roster, I will see you guys next time.